Alright, Devin Nakano here, founder of Y7 Chess Inc. Today we are going over the Queen and Bishop checkmate, which is similar to the checkmates that we've already done, but has some intricacies that deal with the passive pressure and the active pressure that we talked about in the Queen and King video. If you haven't seen that, totally cool. You'll be able to get that same content again, but you should go ahead and watch that video too. Alright, so let's get started. So active pressure, passive pressure. Active pressure occurs when we're actively checking the king and forcing the king to go in the direction that we want them to go into. In this case, we're checking the king, we have backup from with our king, and forcing our opponent to run away. In passive pressure, with starting in the position at d4, is when we are simply just moving our queen, but not necessarily checking our king, not necessarily attacking our king. What we're doing is we're building a wall on the 5th rank that prevents our opponent from moving down, moving away. We want to get them to the edge of the board. We want to get them to the top of the board because it's easier to checkmate our opponent when they are here. Actually, I'm gonna go get the chopsticks that I used yesterday. Be right back. Alright, so if we didn't see the previous video where I used my handy dandy chopsticks to show you how easy it is and easier to checkmate our opponent, we can just go over that again now. So if you didn't see the previous video of the Queen and King and Rook checkmate, we'll just go over it right now. So if our king is here, we have these 9 squares that the king could potentially run to. Here. When he's in the center of the board, he has those potential squares. If he's on the side of the board, then he only has 6 potential squares that he has to run to. If he's on the corner of the board, he only has 4 squares that he can potentially run to, making it that much easier to checkmate our opponent. Because we only have to cover these 4 squares to get him to go to where we want him to go. So, back to the original part, and we should probably put this part in front of actually going through the checkmates. So active pressure occurs when we are actively checking the king and forcing the king to run away. Passive pressure occurs when we are just moving our queen and forcing our opponent either to the top of the board or the edge of the board or down to the bottom of the boards. And this queen builds this wall that prevents our opponent from running down. And now we're going to move laterally on the 5th rank here and continue to push him to the edge and to the corner depending on what he wants to do. So I'm going to move my queen laterally from c5 to e5 and I'll put my king in check, like so. And then now I'm going to use my passive pressure again and force my opponent either to the edge of the board, the 8th rank, or to the H file. If he runs to either H7 or H8, I can move my queen now to G4 and locking my opponent into the H file. He can no longer cross this line here because the queen will attack him. He's forced to move here because he can't run away. There's that wall. there is that laser that's going to get him. And now we can move either our bishop in, like so, which forces the king to go here. And then we can move our bishop again to f6, forcing our opponent to go to h7. And then now we can deliver checkmate. Pause the video and see if you can find it. And queen to g7, checkmate. And now we're attacking all of these 6 squares to finish the game. And we're good to go. We can do this exercise in really any position, but we want to focus on active pressure and passive pressure. Force our opponent to the edge of the board. Lock him in with the queen, either on the G file, the 7th rank, the 2nd rank, or the B file here, to get an easy checkmate without giving up the win. Alright, thank you for continuing this journey with me. I'll see you on the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you can. Thank you. Bye.